Dear students, I welcome you to the solution of assignment 10, and you have gone through the various concepts in design of experiment, which is a very important strategy to assure the quality at the design stage. So, as you have learned in the successive lectures that if quality can be built in the design of the product or process, then the cost associated is always less and the subsequent efforts required in controlling the qualities either at the process stage or at the inspection stage once the product is manufactured is always less. Design of experiment, as you know, is an offline quality control tool and which basically decides about the parameter setting and the proportion of the various constituents for the process so that the effect of noise factor can be minimized and the processes can be designed which are robust enough to operate in the given environment. So, here you were given a couple of questions on design of experiment and there were 25 questions. All questions were of objective type and only one answer is correct. In the questions 7, 8 and 10, a statement of assertion A is followed by a statement of reason R and you were expected to mark the correct choice. Question number 22 and 23 were common data questions. Now, let us see the question 1. Which of the following is true? A. Having more than one dependent variable allows the examination of interactions between them. B. There must be the same number of independent variables as there are dependent variables. C. An experiment can have more than one dependent variable, and D. An experiment can only have one dependent variable. If we see the answer, then correct answer is C. An experiment can have more than one dependent variable and these dependent variables can have significant or insignificant effect on the independent variable. Question 2. There are 30 students in each experimental condition in a 5x4 between groups design. How many participants would be needed in total? So, the answers are 600, 20, 400 and 30 and the correct answer is 600. There are 30 into 5 into 4 different combinations. So, 30 into 20 is equal to 600. Question 3. Match the following: type of variables and definition. Independent variables A, B dependent variables, C random variables and D confounding variables. You are given set of definitions which you can see on the screen on right side. 1. Those things that you might like to hold constant when a process is running. 2. Correlated with independent variables. 3. Factors that we manipulate in an experiment, and 4. Factors that you are not controlling and no one is manipulating them and they are changing on their own. You can see 4 different options where the left side is matched with the right hand side. The correct answer for this question is B, that is independent variables, factors that we manipulate in an experiment. Dependent variable, those things that you might like to hold constant when a process is running. Random variables, factors that are not controlling and no one is manipulating them and they are changing on their own. And D, confounding variables, correlated with independent variables. Question 4. ANOVA is a statistical method of comparing the fill in the blank of several populations: A. variance, B. standard deviation, C. means, D. all of the above. The correct answer is C. means. Question 5. To find out whether noise affects the capability to solve the assignment of quality management, one group solved the assignment in a silent room and another group solved the assignment in a noisy room. The group solving problems in the silent room completes 22 problems in 1 hour and the group solving problems in the noisy room completes 15 problems in 1 hour. In this experiment, the independent variable is dash and the dependent variable is dash. You need to fill in the blank with two correct answers. A. The difficulty of the problem, the noise level in the room. B. The noise level in the room and the difficulty of the problem. C. The noise level in the room and the number of problems solved, and D. The number of problems solved and the noise level in the room. The correct answer is C. The noise level in the room and the number of problems solved. So, the noise level in the room is basically the independent variable and the dependent variable is the number of problems solved. Question 6. Read the following statements carefully. Mark the correct choice. Statement 1. Replication is the repetition of an experimental condition so that variability associated with the phenomena can be estimated. Statement 2. Randomization is a way when there may be a factor that might be impacting your process, but you are interested in neutralizing that effect. Statement 3. Blocking is the process of assigning the various levels of the investigated factors to the experimental units in a random fashion. So, you have 4 options on the screen, you can see it, and the correct answer is B. Only statement 1 is correct, and it is replication is the repetition of an experimental condition so that the variability associated with the phenomena can be estimated. Question 7. Here you are given assertion and the reason. Assertion is many statistical techniques like histograms, Pareto charts, run charts. These are techniques that almost anyone can use and workforce should be trained on these techniques. Reason: DOE regression model, significance test and confidence interval are most advanced statistical techniques which are all used if you are trying to optimize the process. A. Both A and R are true and A is the followed by R. The option B. Both A and R are true but A is not followed by R. C. A is true but R is false. D. Both A and R are false. The correct answer is B. Both A and R are true but A is not followed by R. So, B is the correct answer. Question 8. Assertion: when we are trying to conduct the experiments, do not run the experiments of noisy conditions. Try to raise your experimental conditions in such a way that we are able to obtain better result. Reason are: we can include the noisy condition in our study when we want noise also part of our experimental study. So, it is an interesting question and you have 4 options on the screen. Both A and R are true and A is followed by R. Both A and R are true but A is not followed by R. A is true but R is false, and D. A is false but R is true. The correct answer is A. Both A and R are true and A is followed by R. So, A is the correct answer. Question 9. Received signal strength indicator is used to determine. So, if you have gone through the lectures carefully, this term was coined, and there are 4 options: A, the traffic utilization ratio, the information security system, the location of vehicle, and the carbon emission of the vehicle. The correct answer is C, location of vehicle. Question 10. Assertion: Taguchi approach is a simplified version of partial factor designs and it requires analysis of variance. Reason are: we need not really run the full factorial experiment and would still be able to come up with reasonably good inference. A, both A and R are true and A is followed by R. B, both A and R are true but A is not followed by R. C, A is true but R is false, and D, A is false but R is true. The correct answer is D, A is false but R is true. Taguchi approach, as we know, is a simplified version of partial factorial design and it requires analysis of variance is basically false. We do not have any analysis of variance and hence your answer D is the correct one. Question 11. Factors in a factorial design are the A, the experimental variables, the independent variables, the dependent variables, the organismic variables. The correct answer is B, the independent variables. Question 12. Following table is the example of testing of ignition coil to determine if it will withstand salt, water. Find out which one is the design factor and which one is the noise factor. So, this kind of questions would really help you to critically evaluate your concepts and also it will successively keep you more say critical on the various issues in the design of experiments. So, here the options you can see on the screen, and if you look at the factors in the given table, then housing material with low level and high level, water temperature with 5 degree centigrade as low level, 15 degree centigrade as high level, seal thickness, water pressure and exposure time. So, the correct answer is A, that is housing material is the design factor, water temperature is the noise factor, seal thickness is the design factor, water pressure is noise factor and exposure time is the noise factor. Question 13. What will be the correct sequence of DOE to understand the process settings? Interpret result, perform experiments, prediction model, optimization, optimize the function. Perform experiment, interpret result, prediction model, optimize the function, and you can see some change in the sequence similar way in option C and option D. The correct answer is B, perform experiments, interpret result, prediction model, optimize the function. Question 14. What must we include when reporting an ANOVA? Standard deviations, means, degree of freedom, all of these above. So, the correct answer is D, all of these above, and in ANOVA calculation, as you have learned, we must include the mean, standard deviation, and we determine the F statistic, p value and degree of freedom. Question 15. What statistical procedure is used to assess the statistical significance of the main effects and the interactions in a factorial design? A, analysis of covariance, B, correlation, C, t-test, and D, analysis of variance. So, the correct answer is D, that is analysis of variance. Question 16. Dr. Rao conducted a response surface experiment to design a laboratory, and for this they considered 3 factors: temperature, pressure and durability. Which of the following equation is correct for RMS experiment? So, you can see that there are 4 options A, B, C and D, and in one or other way the factors are associated, and temperature, pressure and durability, they are denoted as T, P and D, and there are coefficients which are A1, A2, A3, A11, A22, A33 and so on. So, the correct answer is C, and you can see that there is an intercept A1, y is equal to A1 plus A1 T, that is A1 is the factor associated with temperature T. Similar way, P has coefficient A2, A3 D, then A11 T square, A22 P square, A33 D square, that is the quadratic effect, and then you have A12 Tp, that is the interaction effect, A13 Td plus A23 Pd. So, you have quadratic effect, interaction effect and main effect. The first is A1 is the intercept, then subsequent 3 terms are the independent effects, main effects, then quadratic effect and then interaction effect. Question 17. One of the researchers from IIT Kharagpur conducted a 2 by 3 by 2 factorial design experiment for variables A, B, C. This design will yield information about the A. The design has 12 independent variables. B. The design has 2 independent variables at level A, 3 independent variables at level B and 2 independent variables at level C. C is the design has 2 independent variables, 3 dependent variables and 2 organism variables, and D, design has 3 independent variables, 2 levels of A, 3 levels of B and 2 levels of C. The solution is D, design has 3 independent variables, 2 levels of A, 3 levels of B and 2 levels of C. Question 18. You are expected to match the left hand side with the right hand side, and you have studied the Taguchi's method and signal to noise ratio. So, here you are given 3 options on left side which are called response when the target performance is best, B when the response is to be maximized, and C when response is to be minimized, and you are given S by N ratio expressions on the right hand side, and you are supposed to match them with the responses. So, the correct answer is B, that is the A is matching with 2, S by N ratio is equal to 10 log y bar square divided by S square, B is matching with 3 and C is matching with 1. Question 19. Read the following statements carefully, mark the correct choice. Statement 1. The DOE using Taguchi approach can economically satisfy the needs of problem solving and product process design optimization projects. Statement B. By learning and applying this technique, engineers, scientists and researchers can significantly reduce the time required for experimental investigations. You can see the 4 options A, B, C, D on the screen, and the correct answer is C. Statement 1 and 2 is correct. Statement 1, the DOE using Taguchi approach can economically satisfy the needs of problem solving and product or process design optimization projects. Statement 2, by learning and applying this technique, engineers, scientists and researchers can significantly reduce the time required for experimental investigations. Question 20. Factorial design allows us to study both fill in the blank effects of the independent variables on the dependents, main and interactive, rank order and correlational, symbiotic and dichotomous, dependent and independent. So, the correct answer is A, main and interactive. Question 21. Which one of the following statement is wrong in reference to one factor at a time OFAT? experimental strategy. You have 4 options A, B, C, D. Vary factors together in specific manner A. B. Involving the testing of factors or cause one at a time. C. OFAT requires more runs for the same precision in effect estimation. And D. OFAT can be more effective than fractional factorial under certain conditions. So, the correct answer is A. Vary factors together in a specific manner. Now, you have common data questions. Question number 22 and 23, they are based on the same data, and the data set is like this. An experiment is conducted to investigate the distortion of drive gears in automobiles. 2 factors are included for finding out the effects: size of the gear y1 and the part positioning y2. A study of 8 gears for each tooth size and part positioning combination is displayed in the following table. So, you can see the 2 levels for tooth size y1 low and high, and you can also see the part positioning y2 low and high, and when the settings are kept like this, the number of readings observed for a given setting are displayed here. Now, we have question 22. What will be the effect of low level and high level of tooth size? So, you can carefully read the 4 options given on the screen. Will there be a slight rise from a given value to this? Will there be a rise from 21.96 to 8.1875? Will there be a slight drop as option C, or D, there would be a drop from 21.9688 to 8.1875. So, the correct answer is A, slight rise from 14.9375 to 15.2188. And how the computation is made, you can see it on the screen that tooth size is kept at 2 levels low and high. Similar way, part positioning is kept at 2 level low and high, and the readings obtained are reproduced here. Now, if we see the column average and row average, then column average is 21.968 for low, 8.187 for high, and if you see the row average 14.937 for low and row average 15.218 when tooth size is kept high and part positioning is changed from low to high, and the row average 15.080. Now, the correct answer is A, and you can see it from the data put in the table that the size of the effect for tooth size is 15.2188 minus 14.9375, that is 0.2813. So, this is the change which is made. Question 23. What will be the effect of low level and high level of part positioning? Now, you look at the other option. So, you can see the options very well on the screen, and same way you can compute for the column averages, because here you are supposed to analyze the part positioning, and you can see that answer D is correct, a rise from 21.9688 to 8.1875 because of change is made from low level to high level effect. Question 24. In a factorial experiments, the options are testing one factor at a time, B, cannot estimate interactions, C, all possible combination of factor levels are tested, and D, all of the above. The correct answer is C, all possible combination of factor levels are tested. Question 25. Which of the following terms best describe an interaction effect? A. Eliminating any differential influence of extraneous variables. B. The effect of one independent variable depends on the level of another independent variable, the effect of one independent variable on the dependent variable, and D. Sequencing effect that occurs from the order in which the treatment conditions are administered. So, the correct answer is B. The effect of one independent variable depends on the level of another independent variable, and this is the answer. So, with this we have finished the solution to assignment 10. Thank you very much, and keep going through the video lectures scheduled per week, study them in detail, and subsequently attend the assignments critically, so that you can appreciate the level of knowledge you have gained during a particular week. Thank you very much.